I hope you're all feeling great and staying cool in this heat that we have going on here. I'm just going to adjust the camera. I hope I don't make you guys any dizzier than you already are. Thanks for joining us tonight. So tonight we're going to talk about a couple of different things. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And hopefully you will join in, participate, tell me your questions, your comments, ask things live. And let's talk about everything spiritual. Everything beyond the five senses as it goes. So I hope you've all been having a great week. Just takes a few minutes for the feed to come on. As you know, I'm still doing this remotely. We're not back in the studio yet. Thank you, Governor Cuomo. Could we please get back to our lives? For those of you who are not in New York, that's our governor. So I hope everybody's doing really well. I actually couldn't find the password for the software, so I had to actually call my engineer, Sally, who I know you all remember, my wonderful engineer, Sally. So I'm looking, I don't see myself live yet, but yes, there I am live. Okay, so tonight I want to talk about a couple of things, a little bit of astrology, since part of what I do is very much astrology. And then I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world, even though a lot of us don't like to talk about that. So the theme for tonight's show is going to be self-care. And I just have to share the show. You guys know the drill. Every week now. I'm probably going to be back in the studio with my guests and everyone. I'm going to say probably 2 to 3 weeks. So if you guys can be patient a little while, just a little scotch while longer, we're going to be back in the studio. And you'll love to see me there, right? So I'm going to share the show. Please watch. And if any of you want to share the show, that would be great too. I do have some cards tonight to pull for those of you I know who love that. All right, so I got to go back to Govs. So I'd love to hear your comments, questions, anything that you guys want to put online tonight. I will answer. Last week I thought we had a really good show. It was, actually I like to call it open book. It was any of the questions that you guys have about spirituality or anything else that you wanted to ask. And I think it went pretty well. We actually got into some really deep subjects. So if there's anything that's left over from last week that you want to ask me, please just go right ahead. Okay, so I'm finishing up sharing the show. It's posting, going back to Govs, radio. All right. Here I am. Okay, who have I got on here? Colleen. Hi, Colleen. Janine. John, got some friends out there. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to adjust my lighting a little bit. I have to do everything myself now since I'm not in the studio, and it does tend to get a little bit daunting, but I'm doing it. Okay, this lighting is terrible for me. My vanity is showing. All right, so I'm going to switch the camera a little bit here. Got to get comfy, do what we're doing. Nobody tell me there's lipstick on my cheek. Okay, editing is a beautiful thing. So, want to talk about self-care because I feel like we're all in so much chaos right now and we're all finding ourselves really stressed but also overwhelmed. I feel like the overwhelmed part is mostly what we're all feeling right now, and it feels like there's so many things going on in our life and so many things that we have to think about. You know, it's almost like a running tape in our heads, like about the COVID and about the politics and the rioting and all these things going on. And so what happens is I think we get really overwhelmed with all of that and then our daily life. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about self-care. And what I've found is I'm really letting the self-care portion of my life kind of go a little bit because I'm not including myself and my own care in the things that I have to do. And when I don't do that, I get run down and then I'm not able to really function at full capacity. And isn't that what life should be all about for us? Is really functioning at full capacity. So I have some tips for you this week to do that self-care. And what do I mean by self-care? Well, what I mean by self-care is taking time out to truly nurture and nourish yourself. And I think we don't do that. I think that we keep going and going and going, And when we do have downtime, we pick up the computer or the iPad or the iPod or whatever we're working with that day. And I think we really have to make sure that we're more in our own space, that we're more introspective, that we're thinking about what we want to do from a perception of connection with ourself and that deep space of divinity that we can be in. So let's all just take a minute. I know my day was kind of hectic, and let's all take a minute to fully arrive. And in this moment, in the time that we're going to spend together, let's fully arrive in this space to be present, to be there for each other, to be in the love and the light that we want to give to one another. And let's really take some time in a couple of moments just to fully arrive and feel that space. I know there's a lot of people out in the community tonight. I have Heidi and Monica, David, Janine, John. And let's just send a little bit of love to each other, a little nurturing, because I feel like in this energy we're all so tied into everything that's going on around us and the externals. And we really need to come back into ourselves and that unity and that love. So let's just take a few deep breaths and do that tonight. Well, I feel better. I don't know about you guys. So I have these gratitude cards that somebody gave me for Christmas. And I want to pull one because I think maybe that's the right frame of mind and the right energy for us tonight. I don't know what card's going to come, but I always know that Spirit gives us some kind of a message that's going to be really appropriate for tonight's broadcast. So, okay. This card says, gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. And that is really true. I know I've had a rough go of it lately, just with things breaking and things happening in my life and changes. And the other day I completely turned it around. I went to yoga, and I actually was able to put myself in a space of gratitude that kind of amplified and just carried over into everything. So I think that's the answer to a lot of things for us, is really going into gratitude and really allowing ourselves to feel that beautiful space. So definitely practice self-care. I'm going to have a couple of tips on that for you in a little while. But let's go into the astrology right now, because I think the astrology has some really great points for some gratitude. And I want to explain to you what is going on in the next week or so that we really need to pay attention to when it comes to the astrology in our lives. And right now we're in a lot of polarization. Wouldn't you all agree? Things are very polarized. Love and light to you too, Heidi. Andrew, how are you doing? Hey, everybody out there. David, Janine. So I'm going to look at the screen every once in a while just to be able to communicate with you guys. So we're in a great deal of polarity right now. I think you'll all agree with that. But where is this polarity meant to bring us? Where is it supposed to really give us in our life that will bring us forward? Because this polarity has a tendency to be so overwhelming right now. It's so extreme. You know, I have a video up that I actually did 2 years ago when this energy first started. And the video is really amazing how it basically just talks about finding our voices, but doing it in truth and really understanding that truth comes from within us and not to be so hooked into all these externals going on around us. And I couldn't believe it was 2 years ago that that energy actually embarked for us, because it's culminating now in all of these really strong polarities that we see. So we can look at polarity and we can really see the violence that's out in the world right now. We can see many things that are happening that are, you know, distasteful, ugly, not exactly what we would want to really see for ourselves. But it's happening and it's reality. So to me, polarity has a purpose. And I was thinking a lot about this. And I was thinking about it in reference to the astrology right now, because the astrology is really showing me this. And if you think about polarity, and even think about it in your own life, Like right now we have a lot of things that are happening that are blatant. You know, it's almost like we get into a situation where we are seeing the differences and seeing the polarities in the world so unbelievably stark. You know, it's not just black white, it's not just new old, it's not just Republican Democrat. You know, it's so stark. The lines are drawn so sometimes violently. Why is that happening now? And I started to think about it, and I realized that over these last few months, that the starkness, the reality of the polarity, right? The starkness of the differences that we're seeing between people, it makes us look at the other side. Whether we're seeing that in a positive or a negative, it makes us look at that. And in doing that, we gain more wisdom, we gain more understanding. And it's really true if you think about it, because up until a few months ago, I really didn't look at the violence against certain minorities or certain ethnicities as far as, you know, authority and our structures of authority, policemen and things like that. I never really looked at it that much. But as soon as this big polarity started to grow, then I started looking at it a little more. It's the same thing with politics. Like, I never really looked at Republican, Democrat too much. And as soon as all of this started to explode, all of a sudden I was looking at the differences and looking at what is this and what is that, right? So if you think about polarity from that point of view, polarity makes us really look at things. It gives us a much better view of the other side than what we had when we were all unified. When we're all in unity and unified, we don't look so much at each other. We're all one. We're all, oh, you're like me, you're like me, you're like me. So we don't have to look past that. So what happens is the polarity that's given to us, and the reason why it's given to us in the world right now, is so that we have to really stop and look at it and look at the other side. And then through wisdom and hopefully empathy and compassion, we gain understanding to what the polarity is really about. So now let's take this a step further, okay? What if we think about polarity in terms of, I'm sorry, I apologize for this camera, my tripod keeps slipping tonight. So what if we think about the polarity in terms of light and dark? What if we think about how we allow light in our life and where we bring darkness in our life? How we are a shadow for someone and how we are a light for someone. And we really think about that from a polarity point of view. And when we're standing in the light, really look out at the dark and be aware of that and aware of the power that darkness has. And think about that in a term of not wanting to be in that and not wanting to demonstrate that and not wanting to bring that to others, no matter how subtle or significant it can be. And now, when you're in your darker times, when you're in your troubled times, when you're in your times of hardship and you're in the dark, look across and look at the light and think about, what do you really see in that polarity? How bright is that light? Where does the light come from? Where do you go for nourishment? Right? What does the light really mean to you? What are the things you value when you think about light? And so that's how we can use polarity to allow us to really shine a microscope, shine a real forensic lens on what the other side is about. And that's why the world is in so much polarity right now, because the universe wants us to learn. The universe wants us to look at the other side and make really informed, really wisdom, really wise, really discern decisions. And I think that is really where we're at right now in the world. And I think that's why we're seeing, you know, people keep texting me and calling me and saying, has the whole world gone crazy? And No, I just think the whole world is really, really, really in polarity. And that those oppositions are not really the opposites we all think they are. No more than the unity is what we really think it is when we're all bunched together because we're all alike. Yay, we're all alike. We're all in this cult. We're all in this tribe. We're all in this spiritual thing. We're all alike, so we're good, right? Well, no, that's the downside of unity. That's when individuality becomes homogenized, right? So we want to accept polarity for the gifts it can give us and realize that in our uniqueness, in our opposite ends of the sameness, we are all there, we are all individual. And astrology really teaches me that, because in astrology you have a lot of oppositions and polarity. And what is polarity? Polarity is really the same energy. It's the same line of energy, just at two different places. So it's not as opposite as one would think. The way that you overcome that polarity is to meet in the middle, right? Not become the same. You're not making the energy come the same. You're accepting both ends of the energy in a place where they can be harmonized. So when we think of that and apply that idea to the polarity that we're seeing in the world, what do we come up with? We come up with solution. We come up with production. We come up with imagination. We come up with engineering. We come up with futuristic and new ideas. And that's where we're going to be headed in 2021, when a lot of planets start to go into Aquarius. And it brings us refreshment, air, future, everything. So I think that instead of looking at the world right now and saying, wow, this is really sad, everybody's lost their minds, maybe look at the world and say, why was I chosen to be born at exactly this moment and to experience these things? Where is the gift? Spirit, please show me the gift. And you will see it. I'm just going to look down at my notes for a moment. Yeah, and I think that's also why we keep repeating the energy and repeating the energy. You know, since this COVID thing broke in March, we've been repeating a lot of different energies that are very similar. Different different situations, same circumstances, same feeling, same emotion, but maybe the players are different or the situations are different. But in actuality, I think that they're not so very different. I think that they are being played out until we get it. I think that the situations that we're seeing, the restrictions, right? We all were liberated a lot, and we didn't have to be so restricted in our lives. And then all of a sudden now a lot of states are going backwards and being restricted again. Repetition of the energy, repetition of the energy. That's happening because all these planets that are in retrograde keep going back to the same point and moving forward and then going back to the same point in the sky. And that point has a lot to do with all of these energies that have been in Capricorn since the beginning of the year. I like to call it the Capricorn crap. I shouldn't call it that, but I do. So it's Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in Capricorn. So I want to just get back to the polarity for a minute, because the strongest polarity and the biggest polarity we have, the biggest example of polarity we have, I'm sorry, I'm not very eloquent tonight, I have a lot on my mind, is birth and death. Birth and death, birth and death. And I think that that's really the polarity that we're stuck in. It's almost like these last few months we've been in labor. And we all know there's something new coming. We all know there's a baby on the way. We all know there's new paradigms, and we all know there's a new world order and a new way of life. But we're stuck in the labor pain. We're stuck in this very brutal, harsh, a little dark place where we're not sure what we're supposed to be yet. We're not sure what our arms and legs are for yet. But we're in this half cocoon, half not cocoon. And that's really what it feels like. It almost feels like, I heard somebody say every day is Blur's Day. You know, we don't feel like it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because we're so restricted here. But truthfully, it's not Blur's Day. It's every day. It's just that the days are going to be new days. So it's that polarity of birth and death. And where we gain mastery over our lives and where we gain mastery in the three-dimensional world. And I think that's also what the polarity is that we felt like we had mastery over our own domain. We felt like we had mastery over our own space. And now some of those freedoms are not there, whether it's political or it's COVID or whatever it is. And so we're getting a little cranky. We're getting a little nasty about that. And what we don't realize is that what we have as far as mastery goes in our externals and in our life doesn't matter. What matters is our spiritual mastery and the mastery we have over our own lives. And that's the rebirth. That's the new paradigm. That's the new world. That's the new thing that's coming. So I hope I didn't really, describe that all as too abstract. In a nutshell, the polarity that we're all feeling, the surges all around us that we're seeing, the surges and the violence and the harsh things that are happening are to give us a polarity and make us realize the opposite ends of the spectrum and really look at all those spectrums and those ends and odds and whatever, and come to the conclusion of where we're really supposed to be in our life. It's also the breaking away of the structures, the breaking away of many things that we thought we were in control of. Why? To remind us we're not in control of anything. That we are not in control of anything in this world. Only a higher power is. So if you want to think that maybe we're being taken down a peg or two, yeah, I think so. And I think it's for a reason, so that we really do go into our spiritual mastery and realize what's really important in life. So again, the answer comes in the actuation of self-care, of spending time with yourself, of being in great introspection so that you can really know who you are and what that truth is within you, that you can really have mastery over yourself that way. So that's what I think this energy is about. And I don't think it's a coincidence that it's in the Cancer Capricorn axis, because, and we've had a lot of that, we're moving away from that now as far as the Cancer energy goes. But the Cancer Capricorn axis is classic. It's Capricorn, which is our external structures, our external securities, where we go in our third dimensional world for our securities. And then Cancer is the energy of where do we go within? Where do we go in our personal places, in our personal families, in our personal lives for our security? And that's polarity. And that's what we're being pulled now. We're being pulled out and being pulled in, pulled outward and pulled inward. We want to go inside with ourselves and master that, but we look at externals and we're being pulled out of it. So stay in yourself. Stay in that beautiful space of oneness with yourself. That's where you have to be first. And then when you do that, then you can appreciate others. But you have to appreciate self first. Sun's in Leo now. The sun went in Leo yesterday. The sun in Leo is going to help us with the self-care and with focusing on ourselves, because Leo is an energy that's very egotistical. It can be very self-centered. It's also an energy of the sun. That's the planet that rules Leo. So we have light, lots of light around us. We have energy. It's our soul energy, our soul support. Leo is also a energy that propels us forward. Leo can be egotistical, but it can also be someone who is very focused on themselves. And we need that energy now, because we have to go within. We have to find our own voice inside of ourselves and the way we speak to ourselves and who we really are. Leo also likes the spotlight, which is a good energy for us now, because we need to put ourselves in the spotlight and be self-focused. So use that beautiful Lion Leo sun to be more focused on self and put the spotlight on yourself. This weekend we have some little bit of cranky energy coming in. We've got a Libra moon that's going to square some planets that are going to make us a little cranky. We've got Venus squaring Neptune. We've got, and that Venus squaring Neptune, especially with a Libra moon, is going to be about relationships. So don't be surprised if something that you've been holding in kind of comes to a head a little bit. And so just be aware of that. Also, we have Saturday, we're really going to be working with that energy, but also on Saturday, Mercury squares Mars, and that's going to stay with us for a while. When Mercury squares Mars, that can also be anger issues and speech with your speaking. So just remember, these are things that are going to be repeated from the beginning of July 8th, So if anything happened then, it's going to be revisited. So that's the astrology. Not a whole lot happening, but things happening that are a little bit energetic. They're very energetic. They're very fiery. We've got Mars in Aries and the Sun in Leo. That's a lot of fire in the sky. Chiron's also in Aries. So I'll take questions if anybody has anything they want to ask. Let me look at the board here. Okay, so I am actually going to pick another gratitude card. I feel like the camera keeps freezing, but I don't know if it does or not. We're actually redoing the studio at Gov's, so I should be back in there in a few weeks, but we're picking out all the finishings and everything. It's really exciting. So we'll have a bright, shiny new studio for you when I finally get back in the studio. Okay, this card flew out of the deck. It says, fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. That's so beautiful. That kind of cheered me up a little bit. I had a rough day today, so that cheered me up. I'm going to pick an angel card now. This angel card will tell us what direction we're headed in for the rest of the broadcast. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask them. I also have, actually I have questions left over from last week that people were asking, because we did the open book last week, and people were asking spiritual questions that they wanted to ask. So I don't know. I think John Minette is out there. John, are you out there? Looking really quick. Yeah, John's out there. Okay, John, I'm picking a card for you because I feel like you need a card. John and I have been having a challenging week. These are my favorite angel cards, actually. I've had these cards a really long time. And this card is for John. John, it says courage. Archangel Ariel, be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. What a pretty card. Very pretty card. Kind of looks like me. No, just kidding. The warrior. So courage, John. If you're thinking of doing anything and you need courage for it, there it is for you. All right? Okay. So I have my list of questions about the spiritual stuff that people were asking about last week, and I just have to find them. So hold on a second. I apologize that I am not very prepared tonight. I know you can tell. But some days are just like that. What can I tell you? Okay. Dead air. Dead air. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. My internet has got a problem. That's why I'm having problems tonight. So I'm sorry for that, folks. Okay, so somebody messaged me and they said, can you tell me why forgiveness is so important? And I thought that was a very deep question, but I'm going to just talk about that for a few minutes now. So we all have things that happen to us in our life that we're really ticked off about and we don't want to give any forgiveness, right? We've all had those times happen to us and we don't like to admit it, but we do it and we hold grudges and all that stuff. And I've heard so many people who I do readings for and clients, and they'll say, like, I could never forgive that person. I will never forgive that person. They don't deserve it. And again, it kind of gets back to the polarity theme of tonight. You don't want to think about the forgiveness in relation to that person as far as doing it for them, forgiving them. That's really not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is so that the situation that you can't forgive doesn't take over your life and drive your life and create negative and darkness in your life for for an indefinite amount of time. By forgiving that person and finding that in your heart to do that, you cleanse yourself. You give yourself a reward. You are allowing yourself not to be affected by that person anymore. And you grow and you go on from that. I remember, I can give you an example. Years ago, I had something very egregious done to me, and I forgave the person pretty quickly. And everyone was absolutely amazed that I could do that. And it wasn't any trick or anything. It was almost selfish, because I was like, I have to forgive them because I'll never be able to live with this much anger or hatred in my soul. I just cannot live that way. I will not live that way. So I did the work I had to do to really forgive that person. So how do you do that? The antidote to forgiveness is love. And it's really true. You have to put love there. I recently had something happen in my life where I had someone through a previous job, and when I left that job, they treated me very badly, and I had to forgive that person. And for days, I was like angry and upset, and I wanted to, do something about it or make it right, because I knew what they were saying was untrue. But instead, I just put love there, and I said, no, I have to love this person because they're doing this because of their own wound or because of fears that they have. It really has nothing to do with me. And I just need to put love there because I don't want to wake up every day and feel like this. My life is worth more. So that's really what forgiveness is about and why we forgive. We do it in order to set ourselves free. We do it in order to move on with our life. There's no better feeling in the world than really being in neutral. I remember a couple of years after my husband and I divorced, and I had seen him, we attended something, not together, but in the same function. And I remember looking across the room, and I had seen him several times since, and whatever, traveling in the same circles. And I remember just looking across the room at him that particular evening, which was no really great event, and suddenly realizing that I was done. I was completely neutral. I didn't have anger. I didn't have curiosity. I didn't have frustration. I didn't have love. I was just flatline, and it was neutral. And that was the best gift I ever gave myself, was to be able to do that, because I was free of that particular time and that darkness. So I think that's why we forgive, all right, is so that we can move on and really be free in our life. So that was a good question from somebody. Anybody online have a question that they want me to answer or give my opinion about? It could be anything to do with beyond the five senses, anything to do with tarot or mediumship, anything like that, because I do that, if there's anything that you have that's a question like that, that would be great. What is my inspiration? Okay. So I guess what the person meant by that question is what inspires me to do all of this work, the spiritual work. So my inspiration is that I believe everyone has a calling, and I believe everyone has something that they're just truly passionate about. I took my dog Sparky to the vet today, and I can tell you that particular veterinarian truly has a calling. You can tell he just absolutely loves animals, and he's in exactly the place he should be in his life. And that's such a great feeling when you can be in that spot. And that spot for me is when I do healing work, when I do chart reading for astrology, when I do mediumship, when I'm working in a spiritual capacity, and I know I'm delivering a message that's life-altering for someone through spirit. And the reason why that's so inspiring to me is because I truly believe every time I touch someone that way, and they have an aha moment, that they will continue the energy of that moment into their, not just their own life, but others. And so I believe we're a lineage of that. And so when we touch each other in that way, or we heal each other in that way, or we are able to open someone to love in that way, we amplify it in the world. And that's what inspires me, because I was on the opposite side of that for a very long time in my own life, when I had quite a lot of pain and I had quite a lot of things that were very devastating to go through. And if it wasn't for the people who helped me in that way, I wouldn't be here. So my inspiration really comes from the joy of being able to touch someone and know that you made an impression and you were inspiring to them. And in turn, they will go and inspire another and another and another and another. And that's really where my inspiration comes from. And when I say that I inspired them, I mean through grace. Because anyone who's a reader or a medium or an astrologer or any of those things that does spiritual work, that does the work of the mystic, is not doing it themselves. They are doing it as a vessel for a higher power, whatever you believe in. And so I don't ever take for granted that those messages come through or those things come through, because I'm not doing it. I'm the vessel for it. And that's very inspiring to me to know that if I give someone an aha moment or touch someone, that maybe they will go out and do that work as well. And that's really what it's all about, just continuation and continuation and continuation. So let's pick some cards for everybody. I have my soul cards tonight, which I love. Joan Cruppy Asher, I am going to pick a card for you because you're the last one in my feed. And let's see what we got. Joan, I feel like you have been a little challenged lately. I'm feeling your energy, and I feel like a little bit of sadness tonight. I don't know if there's something going on with you. I feel like there's a situation. Like it's not, it's not like you're depressed or anything like that. It's like there's a situation that you're trying to deal with in your life. So let's see if we can give you a little bit of inspiration in the cards. I'm going to pick an angel card for you, Joan, and I'm going to pick a soul card. I'm going to go the soul card first. Okay, well, I've got the Dove of Peace here, and it's coming out of the lips of the face. So this particular card, Joan, would speak to me as you need to say something. You need to speak your own piece, and it will work well for you because this is a card where the dove is really flying, the wings are spread, and that's indicative to me that this is going to be something that you will say that will have a beautiful result. And then your angel card I'm going to pick. So if there's something on your mind that you need to, speak your piece, get off your mind, Joan, do that in a very loving way. In a very loving way. All right, let me get my angel card. Archangel Shamwell, your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So if the situation that might be on your mind is any kind of career change or anything, they're saying this is saying go ahead, go for it. Shamwell's there. He's got a lot of violet behind him, those beautiful wings, and it's saying career transition. So I don't know. I didn't feel like that when I felt the energy, but if it's something to do with that, that's what's coming up for you, Joan. I'd be interested to see if that works for you. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Mary Ellen. How are you? Okay, I'm going to pick a card for Janine. Janine, you need an angel card because you are an angel. You have been doing such wonderful work. Janine is in transition with clearing out some things and doing new things, and I think that she could use a little boost from all of us, so let's send her some love right now. Okay? I will pick a card for you, David. Yes. Okay, Janine, here's your angel card. Is victory. Oh, this is great for you. Archangel Sandalphon, your prayers have been heard and have been answered. Have faith. Look at this beautiful card. I'm just going to push this light back. Beautiful card. Oh, I love it. I love that for you. And then this was the soul card that I picked for you, Janine. And if you look at all this fire, Leo just went, the sun just went into Leo today. Look at all this fire. And also I want you to look at the emblem on the chest. This is definitely someone who is victorious. This is definitely someone who is coming into their own. Because this card has all these wings around it, and look at the wings of fire in the other. So some great things are coming up for you. Just know that and make sure that you are aware, like stay tuned to what's going on around you so that you can really take part in the stuff that happens. Because some really great stuff is going to happen for you. That's wonderful. Really wonderful. Okay, David, this is for you. We're going to go down the road here. David, we got an angel card for you. And you've got, you know what to do, Archangel Uriel. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. So David, this card is saying that you already know what you're supposed to do. And the soul card that I picked for you is this card. It's a woman. It looks like she's looking out, and she's also carrying a branch with leaves on the top, which to me means that you have abundance coming to you. So there's definitely a change coming, and you know what to do. The light is being held up here as well. So there's something coming for you in the future that you should definitely act upon. Next card is for Sarah. Sarah, I feel light all around you. I'm feeling like a lot of light around you. So if you're looking for confirmation for something, it's there. It's like a yes, yes, yes I'm hearing. So I don't know what that is in regards, but I'm hearing that for you. This is your soul card, hon. Yeah, look at all the people around this. It's like you're really, the face is so peaceful. And then the head is surrounded by like I'm seeing other faces. I feel like this is ancestors. I feel like it's almost like meditating and feeling the ancestors around you, feeling spirit's vibration around you. Just the bliss on that face and the light in the cheeks. I'm seeing a lot of light around you like that. This speaks to me of meditation, of connection, of spiritual connection, mediumship, the other side coming through, visits from loved ones, that kind of energy. And then your angel card is compassion. Look at the light in this card. And it's so funny because I said I feel light all around you, and look at this bright, bright card. And it says compassion, Archangel Zadkiel. Soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. And then look at this card, had all these people around you. So this is definitely a situation they're saying, yes, 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 bring light to it. Again, if there's something that you have to say or confront or do with a group of people, either here or on the other side, go for it. It's going to work out well. I feel like you've got something around you that's very light, very light. Next is going to be Monica. Okay. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Michelle. Yep, we're going to go down the road here. I got Monica, and then I've got Michelle. Okay, Monica. That was Sarah. Monica, this is for you. Monica, divine order, Archangel Raguel. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. So this is just trust, hon. Whatever's going on, and I feel like you're in a little bit of, a little bit of disease. Just trust, because it's coming. It's all going to work out. You just need you have divine order. They're orchestrating things now for you. You just don't know what the end game is, but it's coming. It's going to be good. And then this is your soul card. Wow, I've never gotten this soul card before. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, okay. This is the soul card. It's almost like if you look at the hands reaching out, it's almost like not only are you protected and things going your way, but you have someone who's offering you gifts. So someone from the other side or divine spirit is offering you other gifts. And this card, if you look at it, that's why I was kind of speechless for a minute, is divine order. It's almost like the same kind of figure. This one, figure, outstretched hands, divine order. This one, figure, outstretched hands, divine order. The gifts are coming. And the scale, the balance. Look at the scale in this. So Monica, don't fret, don't feel dis-ease. Keep your thoughts really positive and trust, trust, trust. That's amazing that you got two cards like that. So I don't think you have anything to worry about. Let it come. Let it flow. All right. Colleen, I think I did Colleen. I'm sorry. If I didn't, just shout out. Next one would be Michelle. If not, I have to go back to Colleen, but I thought I did her. Yeah, I did. Monica. Sarah. Okay, so I think I am on Michelle now. This is for Michelle Denning. Michelle, is there, you don't have to answer online if you don't want to. I feel like there's something in your middle area, like below the heart. I don't know if you're having stomach distress or something. I feel like you're having some stomach, like, not that you're sick, like sick, but that you're like just like a nervous stomach kind of a feeling, kind of thing. Okay, for Michelle, your angel card. Yeah, I feel fear, like you're worried about something. I'm picking it up. Michelle, you have gifts from God, Archangel Sandalphon. We angels bring you gifts from your Creator. Open your arms to receive. Sometimes when we feel dis-ease or fear, we can block the positive. So make sure that you open your arms to receive. All the violet in this card, they're giving you a cup, a gift. Allow yourself to accept that, you know. And I'm going to pull a soul card for you. Look at that beautiful card. It says, we angels bring you gifts from your Creator. Open your arms to receive. How beautiful is that? This is for Michelle. And then I'm going to give you a soul card, Michelle. I just dropped some cards. Okay. Michelle, whatever you are feeling fearful or nervous about, don't. You don't need to. You've got some great stuff coming. Okay. Yeah, see, the card that went with this, the soul card, it's got this like salamander. And it's almost like this is the dark and you're pushing it away, which is good. And then there's all this light around the head. So if you are nervous or feeling fearful about anything, just push it away because the gifts are coming. Gifts from God are there. Look at this beautiful card offering you up this beautiful cup. So push away the blue meanies, okay? All right, and then I have a card for Elaine. Yeah, Sarah, that came through really, all the messages tonight are coming through really loud and clear. Monica, yours was off the hook. But Sarah, you got a lot of light around you. This is going to be for Elaine. Okay. Michelle, I'm sending you love. Everybody send a little love to Michelle. Okay. No, Monica, that just came through. You are welcome. Thank you for the honor of allowing that to come through me. I can't believe those cards were so similar. And Sarah, I couldn't believe as soon as I went into your energy, just like psh, light, you know? Okay, so Colleen, I'm going to do you right after I do Elaine. Elaine, my buddy, my lovely lady. I love Elaine so much. She read my cards for me the other day. Okay, Elaine, this looks, as soon as I saw this, I felt like it was the Leo energy coming through for you. Because it looks like very lion-like with the gold. So let me pick the angel card because I think they're going to tell me more about the message. I feel like this time is very important for you. And I know you're not a Leo, but for some reason Leo is coming up this time of year and the Leo season really, really energetic for you. And it's saying clear your space, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, use feng shui. And it's Archangel Jophiel, which to me is the angel of beauty and definitely clearing things. So this to me is a very powerful energy, very fire-like energy. So maybe you're just going to have an energy burst and start cleaning and getting out and doing things that you know, throwing out and doing things that you've been wanting to do for a while. Because I feel like this is very much a Leo sun energy. And then this card was clear your space. So they're telling you to get cracking on anything you've been procrastinating on. Next is Colleen's card. Okay. Oh, there you go. That makes sense then, Michelle. Yeah, I felt it as soon as I went into your energy. I was like, whoa, lower chakra. Okay, this is for Colleen, lovely Colleen. Okay. Yeah, Elaine, that's definitely to me lion, fire, progression, like someone lights a fire under you to get things done you've been putting off, which is great energy for you. Okay, Colleen. Colleen, I'm getting the energy of children or adult children, like more so around you. Oh wow, this is really, you guys are gonna laugh. So I get the energy of children as I'm shuffling and pulling a card for Colleen, and I get the birth card. So this is like, in this card, the person is birthing a new, it looks like almost like a new world, a new earth or whatever. So maybe the baby that we're talking about, or the children that I felt, was a new project for you. You're coming into some kind of a new project or embarking on something, because that is definitely the soul card that's coming in. And look at the expression on the face, the light around the head. This is a beautiful, beautiful rebirth, birth, new things coming in. Let me pick the angel card. It's like you're having a baby. You definitely got some kind of new energy, new project, something coming in for you, Colleen. Okay. The broadcast software might be booting me off, so this is the last card for Colleen. Yeah, Colleen, we're getting this rebirth, birth energy. I felt children, adult children, and then I get this hello from heaven. Archangel Azrael, your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. So if there is someone in heaven, maybe a parent of yours, who was very close to one of your children, I feel like this message is for them and you. But you definitely have something in the works, something new coming, a birth, rebirthing. All right? Beautiful, beautiful cards for everybody. I feel like the Sun in Leo, which was yesterday, started, and it'll be obviously for next month or so, I feel like that just brought in so much beautiful, optimistic, loving energy for us. So tap into that. And please, 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 if you do nothing, please, I think we lost our feed. And please, if you do nothing else, please make sure that you practice self-care. Really important in this energy for us to take time out to really practice that self-care that really nourishes us and brings us to where we need to be. I think that's our broadcast for tonight. You can find me on Zenkuda Official on Instagram, Zenkuda on Facebook, Georgia Rose on Facebook, and you can also find me on YouTube, where I have over 90 different videos about philosophy, about living Zenkuda, living beyond the five senses, tarot cards, and astrology, all kinds of things. Anything above the five senses. If there's anything that you would love to see a video on, please just message me and we'll do one. We'll be back in the studio in the next couple of weeks with all my guests. Thank you so much for putting up with me when it's just been my boring little self. I know tonight's broadcast was kind of slow at the start. I really have a lot on my mind, so send me some love too. And hopefully it turned out okay. And I will talk to you all next Thursday at 6:30. And if I could ask for all of you just to send a prayer to my dog Sparky. He has to go in for some surgery tomorrow. And those of you who have known me on a personal basis know that this beautiful animal that walks with me has been my life. So thank you so much. He'll be fine. And we send some prayers. And I love you all. Gotta go. Bye-bye.